Occurred, the 16th of October 2011, 20 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Fort Wayne, Indiana, USA. Shape, orb duration, 1 minute. No of observers, 3 characteristics: lights on object, aura or haze around object, aircraft nearby. My 3-year-old child, a friend and myself were sitting outside on my porch at our new home together one evening. It was a pretty chilly and breezy fall Sunday night, but we wanted to look at the stars since we had just moved recently and were excited to view the night sky since it was so clear out. Within just a few minutes, an unusual traveling bright circular bluish-white light caught our attention at an instant. At first I thought it was a shooting star, but then it appeared to be moving closer towards us and not disappearing. We knew such to be. We watched it travel closer towards us for about a minute, staring in amazement, disbelief, and even a little fear that it may be an asteroid or bomb. We watched it get closer and brighter for about 30 seconds, moving further east, then remain quite stationary for about 3 seconds when it was at its brightest before vanishing into the eastern night sky at a rapid but steady gliding speed for about 6 seconds until it totally disappeared. It seemed to have come into our atmosphere from space, descend and then leave a different direction. I noticed an orbiting satellite in airplanes in flight and compared how different the light and motion of travel was in every way just to rule out things from our planet that travel regularly. We had cancelled out everything and both believed we had encountered an UFO. I was convinced within 5 seconds that it could possibly be an UFO because of a prior experience. While walking my dog a few years ago with my husband, I noticed a black triangular object in the sky just before dusk, thinking it was a bird at first until it just kept descending and appearing more like the size of a helicopter. And then within a few blinks of an eye went back up into the sky faster than I've ever seen anything move that distance. What I saw in both experiences are almost exactly the same as far as the flight pattern and vanishing so fast.
Occurred, the 14th of November 2011, 21 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Fort Wayne, Indiana, USA. Shape, formation duration, 15 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object, emitted other objects, changed color. Multiple balls of light in the sky that constantly changed position for 15 minutes plus. I was looking out the window of my 2-story house towards an empty field. Today, the field that I was looking at has become an addition. There is a large water tower that abuts the addition I live in. Off in the distance, beyond the water tower, were over 5 glowing balls of light in the sky. Airplanes usually pass over this area, as there is an airport that is off to one direction, but these did not behave like aircraft. In fact, they moved constantly for about 15 minutes, weaving and ducking in the sky. At one point, they almost made a triangular shape. Then, in one instant, they moved away, so quickly, that it could not have been an airplane. It was like a rocket, and they all took off at once, every single ball of light, as if it was coming from one craft. I didn't see any aircraft chasing the object, but I have been puzzled thinking about it ever since it had happened. Usually, I'm not one to believe in this kind of stuff. When I saw what I saw though, I instantly believed. I have never seen anything like it before in my life.
Occurred, the 10th of March 2012, 21 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Fort Wayne, Indiana, USA. Shape, unknown duration, hours. No of observers. 5 unusual lights in the southern sky. I was driving my son to his work to get his scheduled working hours for the next week of work. In the southern sky as we were driving, I noticed 2 unusual very light bright lights. One was higher up above and to the left of the other one. Neither one of them were moving, just sitting there very bright. Compared to other stars in the sky, they were much brighter. I text my niece that lives approximately 40 miles north of where I live and ask her to look in the southern sky to see if she could see what we were seeing. She texted back that she is at her mother and stepdad's house and they also see them. They agree that they are unusual and bright and tend to get dim and then brighten up again. I have no idea what we were seeing, but I wanted to report it in case anyone else in this area of the country witnessed or reported this.
Occurred, the 13th of March 2012, 20 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Fort Wayne, Indiana, USA. Shape, light duration, hours. No of observers. 1 characteristics, changed color. I reported a few nights ago seeing these same 2 bright lights in the sky. I made an error on the other report. The lights are in the west, not in the southern sky. I had my niece, sister, and brother-in-law witness this the other night. Tonight I took pictures tonight with my cell phone, and I can see the smaller light on the left side has red lights flashing when I move my phone, so it takes a close-up picture. With the naked eye you cannot see the red lights flashing. Very strange sight to see.
Occurred, the 14th of March 2012, 21 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Fort Wayne, Indiana, USA. Location details, 1600 block Spring Street. Shape, unknown. Duration, 30 to 45 minutes. No of observers. 2 late February, early March 2011, there were piles of melting snow on the ground, but was not Midwest winter cold. 9:30-ish p.m. or 2130 hours, my wife and I were traveling east on State Street, going to turn south on Wells Street. I was driving. As I approached Wells Street, I noticed 3 orange orbs in the south by east sky. As I turned south on Wells Street, I pulled in the rear parking lot of a pizza joint and watched the orange orbs. My wife dismissed it and asked I continue to our home. We traveled south on Wells Street until we got to Spring Street. I turned west on Spring Street, driving approx. 3 blocks to our home. Our home was, we no longer live there, 1641 Spring. House is on the south side of the road, facing north. We parked the car, I entered the front door, walked through the house, out to the back porch steps. Facing south, I watched the 3 orange orbs in the sky. Please note, Spring Street is at a higher elevation than the south side of the city. The featuring Wayne International Airport and National Guard Airbase, Bear Field, is on the southern side of town. The 3 orange orbs were approx. At a 30-degree elevation, and there was 1 orb to the east, 2 orbs, stacked on top of each other, to the west, approx. 15 degrees of separation. After 15 to 20 minutes, I reached in my jacket pocket for a cigarette. Along looking up, there was just 1 large orb. Please note the sky was black, void of stars, moon, clouds, light pollution. Then suddenly the orbs vanished, with that the stars, moon and clouds were back. You may contact me for more details.
Occurred, the 23rd of June 2004, 2 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Fort Wayne, Indiana, USA. Shape, light duration, minutes. No of observers. 0 was clear sky and saw shimmering light, like a star, that appeared to move in many directions in short time frames. Looked up at night sky and saw a light, looked like a shimmering star, in the western sky. It looked as if it might be moving, so I watched it longer. It traveled to the west, about 3 hand widths. At this point I figured it was a satellite. However, then it moved to the north and then to the east and then sporadically in all directions, though only about 2 or 3 hand widths at a time. I stayed watching it as long as I could, 7 minutes, before I retired for the evening. Never seen anything like it before.
Location, Fort Wayne, Indiana, USA. Shape, triangle. Duration, 2 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics, lights on object. Triangle object spotted August 31st, 04 in Indiana. Well, I go to school in featuring Wayne, Indiana. I'm a senior at Indiana Tech University there. Anyways, I drive about an hour to school, so I was driving home on State Road 30 towards Warsaw, Indiana. About 9:15 to 9:20 I saw an object while driving. At first, I didn't really pay any attention to it, but then I noticed it looked funny. It was hovering over some trees off to the right of the highway. Then as I came up upon it, it darted over the highway into the field off to my left. As I drove up, I put my window down to see if I could hear anything such as rotor blades if it was a helicopter or engines if it was a plane. But, nothing. The object was triangular in shape, a white-blue light on each end of the triangle, and in the middle, it had a red light that flashed white around it, almost like a strobe light. I had pulled off to the side of the road like an idiot, but I wanted to know exactly what I was looking at. Not too much traffic either on the highway that night, so it was pretty quiet outside. Very strange to say the least. Hopefully someone else near and around featuring Wayne saw this object as well. Second time in as many months that I've seen a strange object around featuring Wayne. This is the first time I've reported one though.